Hello Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, and welcome to your reading. So Capricorn, today we're going to go over your energy as well as your person's energy. So with all that being said, Capricorn, let's get started. So Capricorn, we do have the World, we do have the Chariot, and then we also have the Ten of Cups. Could be dealing with a Cancer strongly, possibly a Pisces. Doesn't necessarily have to be the case though. But in regards to how you're currently viewing this relationship, I do see you starting a brand new chapter slash cycle here with someone that you essentially feel completes you. This is also somebody, Capricorn, that I feel like you developed a very fast and intense and deep connection with, because I am definitely getting that the moment you guys, met one another, there was just that instant spark, that instant connection. And this relationship, man, it truly did grow at a very, very rapid pace between the two of you. How does this person currently view this relationship? Oh, well, you know what that means. We have the King of Cups to the Fool. Every time you see these two cards together, that basically represents somebody who's falling in love. Well, we'll see how this plays out, because we do have the Page of Pentacles out here, so I'm kind of worried and concerned. As cliche as is this gonna basically sound, I'm gonna say it anyways. I feel like this is like the first time that this person has found themselves this madly in love with a person. So this is definitely a new experience that this person is essentially going through. It's like they're getting a taste of what it's like to truly be in love, like madly in love with someone. Don't get me wrong, I feel like this person has dealt with people in the past that they grew to love and care for deeply, but this is different. This is different. This is very, very different. Okay. We'll see how they respond and react to this. How does this person currently feel? Okay. Whoa. We have, see, I knew it was going to come out eventually. We do have the Three of Wands. We got the Four of Wands. And then we also have the Knight of Swords. Right now, this person's just on cloud nine, dude, when it comes down to you. This is the epitome of somebody deciding to essentially follow their heart. And that's exactly what I see this person doing, when it comes down to you and this connection that they share with you. However, once reality starts to essentially sink in and they get off of this cloud nine that they currently find themselves in, that's when fear is going to really, really start to kick in. I do want to look a little bit more into the Devil. Tell me more about the Devil. Yeah. Whew. We have the Ace of Swords to the Queen of Cups, and then we also have the Ten of Pentacles. True pair situation here between you and this person. We do have the King and the Queen of Cups out here, making the two of you very compatible as well as soulmates. It makes sense as to why you guys developed a very close and deep and intimate relationship with one another at a very rapid pace. I mean, you guys are showing up as a King and the Queen of Cups, so that makes a whole lot of sense. But back to what we were talking about here. So once reality starts to sink in and this person realizes, how serious things are essentially getting here between the two of you, fear is going to start to essentially creep in on their behalf. And it's going to cause this person to feel like they're in a very, very vulnerable position. And it's because they actually are. Okay. And I think that that is going to scare them and cause them to become very, very guarded. So you're going to notice a slight change within them and their energy. It's like they go from being open and receptive to you and this connection that they share with you and just simply going with the flow to fighting against the natural flow of things, extremely guarded, things of that nature. This is somebody who doesn't like to feel vulnerable with absolutely anyone. So this person may have a massive fear of intimacy. That's definitely a possibility. Or maybe this person did find themselves once upon a time in a very vulnerable situation in a prior relationship, and they ended up getting hurt and betrayed and deceived. And from that point on, they made it their only mission and priority to make sure that they never fall in love again, or that they never allow themselves to become emotionally attached to a person ever again. And the fact that they find themselves falling for you as fast as they're falling for you and developing a very strong and intense emotional attachment here with you, it just scares the living shit out of them. It just does. Because the last time they did this, it didn't end so well. And they fear that it's going to happen to them again. Okay. How does... I feel like what makes it even more scarier for them is that, like I said, not to make this person sound like a robot or a cold-hearted person or anything like that. I do believe that this person did grow to love someone um, deeply. However, it's just not the same. You know what I mean? It's just not the same. Like, this person's even more deeply in love with you than they were with the last person that they were, deeply in love with. If that makes absolutely any sense. And I feel like that's what makes it even more scarier, for them, because they can only go based off of the last time, right, that they felt this strong and intense, emotional connection, right? With someone, and how that essentially played out, and how that really left them extremely hurt and betrayed and deceived. So they can only imagine, how this relationship is going to essentially make them feel if the relationship between the two of you goes south. It's going to make this person, feel, yes, disappointed, yes, extremely hurt, but also extremely devastated and heartbroken. Like, they feel like if this relationship were to go south, it's going to hurt them 10 times more than the last whole situation that didn't necessarily work out, is what I'm gathering. And that's what they fear, because their emotions for you run way deeper than the prior situation that they were a part of. So we have the Page of Cups, we got the Nine of Pentacles, and then we also have the Page of Wands. Out here at the bottom of the deck, we do have the High Priestess, and then we also have the Justice card. I do see you talking to someone about your relationship with this person. So you could be telling like a close family member or close friend that you met somebody and that you feel really good about them. And that like you and this person recently made things official, or you feel like it's about to reach that point for those of you who have yet to essentially reach that point within this dynamic here between the two of you, things of that nature. I do see somebody extremely happy for you, though, and excited for you, that you essentially met this person, and that this person, makes you feel happy, whole, and complete, all that good stuff. So I do see you, sharing the good news here when it comes down to this person that you currently find yourself connecting with. All right, what actions will Capricorn take towards this person or moving forward? So we have the Justice card, we do have the Judgment card, and then we also have the Devil out here. Before I say anything, I do want to look at the Judgment card really quickly. Tell me more about Judgment. All right, we have the High Priestess to a Two of Wands, and then we also have the Six of Pentacles. Okay. In regards to how you plan on moving forward, I feel like this has a lot to do with something that you experienced in the past, to be totally honest, which you're trying to avoid from doing again. So let's talk about it. Even though this relationship that you share with this person does bring a lot of happiness and joy into your life, and it also causes you to essentially feel, right? Like, this person essentially completes you. When it comes down to like broadcasting your relationship, with this person, it's something that you're choosing to not essentially do. And it just kind of feels like it has a lot to do with the past. Maybe you broadcast a relationship that you were in, and that relationship went south, and it, kind of had you feeling, foolish in the end. Well, I do see you deciding to not do that this time around. So in other words, you may not announce to the entire world, okay, that you're in a relationship with this person until you feel like, okay, I feel comfortable now to tell everybody about, this person. Because I do see you telling certain people about this person, your relationship with them. I just don't see you broadcasting it to the entire world. And it's because the last time you did this, it didn't necessarily work out, and it went south, and it had you just feeling foolish. So you just want to avoid, I guess like looking stupid and feeling foolish in the end by broadcasting your relationship with, this person. But it has a lot to do with a past experience that you went through. So I just kind of feel like you're going to be very like private, right? About your relationship with this person. Like, I do see you telling people about them. Like, those who need to know about this relationship will know. Like your family members, your friends, things of that nature. But when it comes down to like, for example, social media and posting pictures of the two of you, you might choose to not go down that route and just keep your relationship super private just in case. You never know, right? Like, that's the mentality that I basically see you having, because you just don't want to look foolish and stupid in the end, is kind of what I'm getting. But we do have the King of Cups, we do have the Ten of Pentacles, we also have the Moon, and then we also have the Seven of Wands. Yeah. So this 180 that we were basically talking about, that's going to take place within this person, I do see it definitely taking place, is what I'm gathering. It's like they're gonna find themselves falling into this energy of questioning you and your intentions towards, you know, them. Like, why are you really, really here, Capricorn? What do you really, really want with them? It's like this person goes from feeling like you mean well to like, I don't know. What if I'm wrong about this person? What if they don't mean well? You know, what if this? What if that? I think they can clearly see that you mean well. I think that they're just having a hard time trusting it and believing it. Because the last time they trusted the fact that somebody meant well, it didn't necessarily play on their favor. It actually blew up in their face. I think it's safe to say that the both of you are projecting to a level, to a certain extent, past experiences that you guys have had with other people onto one another. Because with you, it's like there's just something about you wanting to keep this relationship super private just in case it goes south. At least you don't look foolish and or stupid in the end. But this has a lot to do with something that you personally went through with someone else prior to meeting them. This person over here definitely, you know, fell for someone, not as deeply as they're falling for you, because there is a difference there, but more of the story is that they did, and it blew up in this person's face in the worst way, causing this person to never want to you know, fall for a person ever again. You know what I mean? And here they are falling for, you know, you even deeper than they've fallen for anybody before. And now they're over here worried and concerned that, you know, you're just going to do them the same way this person from their past did them. So they're going to just choose to kind of like, you know, play it safe when it comes down to you because, you know, what if, you know, you turn out to be, you know, just like their ex, you know? So there's some projection definitely, you know, going on. And this projection that's coming from the both of you is going to bring a lot of tension and conflict here because you're going to find yourself paying for what somebody else put them through, and they're going to find themselves paying for what somebody else put you through is basically what I'm gathering. Now, I don't feel like you guys meant to like show up in this way. It just kind of looks like reality starting to sink in. You're seeing how vulnerable you find, you know, yourself in with this person. Same applies for them. And now fear is really starting to creep in. And now everybody's starting to kind of get scared. And now everybody's starting to kind of feel like we just got to play it safe here with one another. I see the both of you just playing it safe. And I feel like this relationship is going to take a toll. That's going to take a toll, I'm sorry, on this relationship because everybody's just choosing to just play it safe as well as project past experiences that you guys have both had with other people. All right. So it's just something to kind of look out for. All right. So that is what I have for you. Hopefully the reading helped. Hopefully it resonated. And I will see you guys in your next reading. Bye.